Hello everyone. Thanks for stopping by Sewing Machine Rehab today. I'm pretty excited because I just finished the restoration of this beautiful Singer 301A, and today I am going to do a sewing demonstration just to show you what happens after you put all the hard work into a well-deserving machine like this one. So this 301A probably has a new owner already, but because many of you are following along with my restoration series for a Singer 301, I just wanted to give you kind of a sneak peek at the end product, which is what everyone is working for. So this is a short bed 301A, and this one is sporting a new foot control and power cord. So there are a couple cosmetic blemishes on this machine, but truly not many. There is some wear in the paint here, and that is from it actually probably being in a table at some point. And just the process of inserting it into the table, maybe pulling it up out when it wasn't stowed away, that will wear away at the paint. The other spot that immediately caught my attention is right here on the bed. And this is where someone used a seam guide. And so you can use a seam guide on your machine, and it actually screws into this hole right here. But for some reason, that seam guide laying across the paint over a number of years and rubbing back and forth, a little bit of the paint has been worn away on the bed here. Other than that, I don't really have any major chips, if any chips in the hand wheel or really anywhere else on the machine. But what is best about it is how it sews, and that is what I'm going to show you next. So I like to do my sewing demonstrations usually with just standard cotton, like a quilting cotton. Today, what we're going to look at on this machine is the various stitch lengths and how well it works when you have a heavy layering of fabric, multiple thicknesses of fabric. So I'm going to start with just plain old cotton, and this has been folded in half, and just going to slide it up under my presser foot and lower my presser foot. My tension is set at 3. I will not change that for this demonstration. That is one of the great things about these machines. In most situations, you do not have to fiddle with the tension. So even when I bump this up to multiple layers as I'm sewing, I'm not going to mess with this tension at all. To start, I will start out on the longest stitch length. That is 6 stitches per inch. So I have it in my lowest position, which is 6 stitches per inch. My presser foot is down. It's threaded properly. All I have to do is press my foot controller, and I just want you to watch here, and I will start sewing. I always like to hold the tails when I start. So she can go very fast. But the nice thing about a electronic foot control is that you can also sew slow. And that's just all depends on, how much pressure you are putting on the foot controller. So let's do a few more stitches of this longer stitch. I'm just trying to do a very slow See how slow? And if you have a lead foot, it's a little hard to sew slow. Now, let's bump it up to about 8 stitches per inch. and we'll just keep sewing. And then we'll turn it around and we will do the finest, or one of the very fine stitches, which is 20 to 30 stitches per inch. So that's a very fine stitch. Now, when you go to remove your fabric, there's a cutter on the back, but I am just a scissor girl. So let's look at this stitch. So this is the front of the fabric where we started, and this is the 6 stitches per inch. On this line here, we switched to 8, and then this line here is the very fine stitch. If I flip it over, this is the back. Doesn't really look much different than the front, does it? I also like to, at this point, just kind of give it a test and see how my tension's looking. It looks good. So what if I was sewing something a little bit more heavy duty? Well, we're going to kind of try to replicate that today. I want to cut these little tails off first so they're not in the way and we don't get hung up on them. So this is 2 layers of cotton. I think we'll just go ahead and fold it in half. So now we are working with 4 layers to start. I'm going to put my presser foot down and I'm going to change the stitch length. Let's do this demonstration at about 8 stitches per inch. And I think I'll move this over so I have a little bit of room. I'm not playing with the tension. I said I wouldn't do that, and I'm not going to, because I want you to see this is something you have to think about a lot less with one of these older machines. So I will start sewing 4 layers of cotton. And I'm going to fold it up on itself and transition to 8 layers. Do you see that? No hesitation. My final fold is going to give me 16 layers of cotton. Again, no hesitation. We'll just keep going. It's so powerful. I own a FAF Creative Sensation Pro 2, and while I love it, it just doesn't handle certain thicknesses of fabric the way these 301s do. So I'll just finish this stitch. We'll go ahead and graduate down back to 4 layers. Oop, I have to put my foot down. I raised it. And we're done. So let's see how this looks. So this is the top. First thing that I want to look for is, did the length of my stitch change at all when I went from 4 layers to 8 layers to 16 layers? And it did not. You can follow this line along here and you see the stitch is still very uniform all the way around. And let's check the back. So our stitch line that we just made is right here. And again, you can see a beautiful stitch. So if you are fixing up one of these for yourself, this is the final result, the end reward for the hopefully new owner of this machine. I hope you love it and use it as much as you can. If you have any questions, let me know. I have some videos coming on how to wind the bobbin and how to thread this 301. I also will be talking to you soon about how to maintain, giving the machine the proper cleaning, oil, and grease that it needs from time to time. I hope you have a great day. Bye.